What's up again, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and welcome to another episode of People's Questions, episode 67. I would first off like to thank all of you out there who sent me a bunch of questions for this particular episode, about 6 times more than I got last Friday. So without further ado, without me rambling anymore, let me get to you guys' questions because I don't want to make this video too long. First question comes from Mike Styles, and you wanted to know, what are my thoughts on Nintendo not having a press conference at E3 this year? What this says to me about Nintendo is one of two things. One, they really just don't have anything to show for the Nintendo Wii U, as I thought it wouldn't be, which is why I'm happy that for the next gen of consoles, the only two that I even considered getting was a PlayStation or an Xbox, or as it stands now, just a PlayStation right now. But on the game side, the Wii U doesn't really seem to have anything. I mean, they just now announced that they're going to be re-releasing, you know, like Zelda Wind Waker's games like that. But in terms of standalone games for that console to try to draw in hardcore gamers, it's just not working. So you know, is there really any point to just show off a console and see, you know, how many weird ways can we play games? And that's really not such a great tactic, I think, is going to work twice in between two gens. I mean, it worked really well on the Wii because, you know, we'd never seen anything like that before, but trying to pull something like that twice in a row just doesn't seem to work. So I'm not surprised that they don't have a press conference. Hopefully they'll bring it back next year or not, but just lack of games. So they just don't want to have a conference where they don't show any great games. The next 4 questions come from Eric Carthouse, and you have 4 questions. And your first one was, what are some of my all-time favorite books? Harry Potter, Series of Unfortunate Events, anything that involves with murder or mysteries. Let's see, The Art of War, written by Sun Tzu. I know that's kind of an odd book, but a very great book. A number of certain animes. You know, I might do a whole video just talking about all the different types of books I really like, that I enjoy, because I just have so many going through my head right now. I can't just list them all right here. So if you send me a message and you want me to do a video just talking about all the books that I read, then I'll be more than happy to do that for you. Next question is, do I like Game of Thrones? I've actually never seen an episode of Game of Thrones. I've heard a lot about it. I'm not exactly sure what season it's on right now, but I don't actually have HBO at my house, so there's really no way I can watch it. Maybe one day if they set it up on Netflix, and I'm have a whole day or a couple of days to just watch the Game of Thrones, I'll be more than happy to do that. The next question is, have I seen Defiance? I've seen maybe 15 minutes of Defiance last week, and it just didn't seem like it was all that interesting. I mean, the concept sounds for, you know, a unique idea, but the execution just doesn't seem to actually work with the type of sci-fi storytelling and intriguement that I'm more interested in. And to be honest, the Sci-Fi Channel has really not been a very appeasing channel for me to watch. They usually don't do very great shows anyway, in my opinion. I mean, they used to play shows like Lex, Babylon 5, Stargate, but, you know, those shows were like years ago. So now that they don't play them anymore, I don't really see a reason to watch the Sci-Fi Channel. Next question is, do I like Firefly? I have never seen Firefly. I have seen the movie Serenity, and that seemed to be a fun little movie. But no, I have not had a chance to watch Firefly. I know that it's kind of like a cult classic to a lot of people out there, and I should check it out. But it's just a lack of free time. I mean, I'm so busy with work and other things near work and 3TR that, you know, I have very few days where I can just be at the house and not have to worry about anything and just watch anything I've missed on television. And, you know, it's just the lack of time. So if I ever do have a chance to watch the whole thing of Firefly and it's on Netflix, or someone sends me like a free copy of it, then I'd be more than happy to watch it. Next question comes from, I really hate that I'm going to be pronouncing your name, but Arturo Aldico. I'm really sorry if I butchered your name. I'll try to learn it over time. But your first question was, if I could travel or visit anywhere in the world, where would I go? Oh, that's a good one. There are actually 3 other countries other than here I would absolutely love to visit. First, I'd like to visit the UK and London, because that's actually where I was born. So it'd be, you know, I technically don't have any memories of actually being there. So actually going back to the actual land that I was born to, would be interesting. Another place I would like to go absolutely is Tokyo, Japan. I mean, that's kind of home of the PlayStation. I think they have some of the best gamers there, and I think if I had enough free time over there, I would actually film a couple of videos of me playing DDR with some of the locals there, because I'm a really big fan of DDR, and I know how good they are at that. And I guess number 3, maybe Rome, simply because, you know, I'm a big fan of the Roman history, so I think seeing some of the actual locations that are still standing and have survived there would be a pretty interesting tour attraction for me to go to. Next question is, would I want to be a millionaire? Maybe not a millionaire, but I wouldn't mind being rich. Like if I made like maybe a quarter or $500,000 a year. I think that if I had so much money that I bought everything I ever wanted, then I would simply just run out of ideas and I would just start wasting money on things I don't need. I'm really directed on only buying things that I need right now or are going to help me. But I have a feeling that some people who have that much money just don't have any sense of control, and they'll just start buying things that they don't really need. And we've seen that many times. And that leads to bankruptcy and then a whole bunch of, you know, financial problems, and that's something I want to try to avoid. Your next question is dream car. Personally, I actually wouldn't mind getting my own copy of the Tumbler. I know there was a guy who actually bought the original Tim Burton Batmobile, and I thought that was really cool. And the fact that if you've seen the documentary on the Dark Knight Rises Special Edition disc, it actually goes over all the Batman's Batmobile versions. So I've actually seen inside what the actual Tumbler that they used for the Dark Knight films looked like. And the first thing I would do is actually change the inside of that car and have it completely identical to Batman's car. And then just drive around with that, because, you know, it's pretty hard to get into, so I don't think I'd be worried about anyone trying to steal it. So that would be my dream car. The next 3 questions come from Mido5430, and your first question is, do I like the Walking Dead series? I've never been interested in it. I've heard a lot of things. I've never been interested in the games. I haven't really been interested in the show. It just, although it's on Netflix, I'm just kind of a little sick of zombies. As of right now, maybe in a couple years, if it's over, maybe I'll sit down and watch the whole thing, just like I will for like something like Firefly or Game of Thrones. Just one of those things. It's just a time issue. Next question is, what is my favorite Tarantino film? Unquestionably, Pulp Fiction. Best lines, some of the most memorable scenes I can think of. The only flaws I can really account from that particular movie is maybe 2 scenes that, you know, even looking back and even watching the commentary, I don't understand why they added those particular scenes and did certain things, certain characters, because it just kind of stood out for me. But it's still a classic film, and I would easily give that maybe a 9.5 to 10 any day. Your next question is, most anticipated movie of 2014. You know, I actually just looked up a bunch of movies that are going to be released for 2014, and I think the main movie that I saw on that list was X-Men Days of Futures Past, if it will be out that year. And if not, if it gets pushed back, then I think a second contender would be maybe Godzilla, just out of curiosity, because, you know, I'd really like to see what they would do with Godzilla after that somewhat decent film. I thought it was decent, that 1998 like American rendition of Godzilla, which I know a lot of people didn't like, but I thought it was fun, so I'd like to see Godzilla come back and make a comeback. And the last number of questions, which are 2, come from Criticism Guy 2009. And you want to know, what did I think of the feedback that Iron Man 3 has gotten this week? If you saw my review on it, you know how I feel about it. I didn't like the movie, but I didn't hate it. Obviously, it made a lot of money. You know, really great marketing by Disney. They always know how to make their money back. It's kind of that type of movie is, if you're a big fan of Iron Man or the Mandarin in general, I think a majority of them are really going to hate this movie for what they did. But if you're someone who doesn't really know anything about the Iron Man storyline and the Extremist storyline and things about the Mandarin, then you're not really going to care. So you're just going to take it as it is and enjoy it. So that's how I feel about the feedback that it's been getting. And the last question you have is, what is my opinion on media like movies transitioning into TV series? I think it's just a ploy to really keep the reputation or keep it in people's minds. Like, best example is Avengers. I heard they're doing like a S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, and I think that by doing that, that keeps the idea of the Avengers constantly in people's minds, so that when another movie connected to that franchise comes out, they'll be, they're obviously going to go out and see it right away. And so in between movies, it would be nice to have a TV series that adds more to that world, or maybe connects this movie to that movie and fills in some gaps. So that's how I feel about movies having little TV series. And with that, that's all the questions that I got this week. I'd like to again thank all of you guys sending me in your questions. This is probably one of the biggest episodes I've had, I think overall out of all my episodes of people's questions. And I'd ask you guys a question just to keep it simple. I'm just going to take, what is your most anticipated movie of 2013? I know that some of you have already done your lists, and maybe the movie has already come out, but I'd really like to know, because as you know, my most anticipated movie is Man of Steel, which comes out in about next month, so I'm real pumped up to see that. Or maybe you want to tell me what is going to be your most anticipated movie of next year, because I'd really like to know. And if you like this video, please like, comment down below, and please subscribe to track my future movie and video game reviews and episodes of people's questions. And remember, keep sending in your questions in the comments down below, because they help me out immensely. And like always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.